What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone is having a fantastic night. We're back with another weekly recruiting show. Ross, we got some recent Canes offers coming in on our show, some very good players. We already got 50 people live with us a minute in. Gotta love it. So, why don't we introduce our first guest of the night?
The first guest of the night is we've actually got a guy who hasn't got an offer yet, but the staff has been very, very involved, according to this player's coaching staff in high school. They're hitting him up constantly, asking him for information about him. He was just performing in state track meets, so he'll have some stuff to talk about there. This is 2024 wide receiver, 4-star Isaiah Williams from Wiregrass Ranch.
Isaiah, welcome to the Scoop.
Hello, what's up?
Hey, it's a pleasure to have you on, Isaiah. Welcome back. How has this recruitment been for you so far?
It's been a blessing, just been dreaming about it, but I just been putting in the work, it's gonna come my way. Just being patient with it.
Absolutely. For all the viewers watching right now, what offers do you currently hold?
I hold Michigan, UCF, Penn State, FSU, Cincinnati, Pitt, Mississippi, Mississippi State, and a few more.
That's a very good list of offers
Yeah.
from great Power 5 programs. So definitely, pretty impressive list. Ross, what makes Isaiah such a great wide receiver?
His speed is electric, and it's not just short burst speed, it's his long distance speed as well. At his size, it's just, good luck trying to guard him for 4 quarters.
Isaiah, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, he's right. That's like a really big part of my game is my speed. Like knowing I can outrun the defender. Like as a receiver, that's like really important to have that speed and to create separation in those route running.
How's your relationship been with the University of Miami coaching staff so far?
I haven't really talked to the coaches. They haven't thrown me an offer, so I don't really have that strong connection with any of the coaches up there.
Gotcha.
Isaiah, when I talked to Coach Rob, your coach there, he was saying, that the Canes have been actively wanting to get more and more information and stuff. So I know the Canes are interested, but who's really showing you the most love so far? Like, what school is really showing the most love?
I'll say UCF. Went to their spring game and I had a long conversation with the receiver coach. He's been like hitting me up. It's like we're real close. So they've been showing the most love.
What's your current height and weight?
I'm 6'1", 165.
And how was this last season for you in Wiregrass Ranch?
It was a pretty solid season. I put up pretty good stats for my sophomore season, but I don't think it was enough. Like I think I could do more than what I've done last season. Yeah.
What'd you put up last season?
I think in a total of 500 yards, all-purpose yards with 5 touchdowns and a few more stats. I kind of forgot. Yeah.
Hey, Isaiah, growing up in Florida, besides UCF, do you have offers from Florida State and Florida at the moment?
Say that again? My bad.
Growing up in Florida, besides UCF, do you have offers from any other schools in the state of Florida?
Yeah, I have USF and FSU.
Nice. Did you grow up a Florida State fan or maybe another school?
Oh, no. See, I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri.
Gotcha.
Grew up in Texas, so I kind of like Texas schools, and then I moved over to Florida in 7th grade.
Gotcha. So you primarily you're a fan of maybe the state of Texas, any schools in that area. Gotcha. So if you had to maybe pick one school that you liked a lot watching so far, who would it be, you think? In Florida.
In Florida?
Yeah.
That's a hard one. I'll probably say Florida. I like Florida. I like Kadarius Toney. I watch him a lot, so I'm get drafted. Yeah.
Do you watch a lot of Miami Hurricanes football games?
Not that much. I haven't been really.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Who are some receivers that you looked up to? While your high school career or just growing up playing football.
Uh, my top three is Odell Beckham Jr., Amari Cooper, and then Devontae Adams. I love their route running. I try to watch them like every day. Trying to learn and grow from them.
Isaiah, I'm a little curious about your the track meets that you were just at. What were you performing in?
So my 100 I ran a 10.9, and then my 200 I believe I ran a 22.7.
Okay.
And then yeah.
How was that experience for you? Was that at state?
No, it was just a regular track meet, but this is my first time ever running track.
Oh,
Being out there setting new records for the school is like it really means a lot.
oh, this is your first time doing it, and you're already setting records. That's amazing.
Yes, sir.
So, what's the goals for next season? What for Wiregrass Ranch as a team? What do you guys want to do to take the next step?
Oh, we want to have a positive record. Make it up and into the playoffs. I'm trying to get like 1,000 overall yards, and hopefully make it to states.
Isaiah, what do you feel the best traits are for a wide receiver, mentally and physically?
You have to be explosive and have quick feet and be able to read coverages. That is really important to know what coverages the defense is in, so you can sit in and make those plays.
Isaiah, what's on the agenda recruitment wise? What schools you're planning on visiting in the near future?
Next week I'm planning on going to Maryland, and then I believe we have trips set up for LSU, Texas, Georgia, and Alabama,
Well,
and
that's great.
Miami.
That's awesome. I'm sure
Yes,
your
sir.
recruitment's going to pick up a lot being on campus and
Yeah, yes,
talking to
sir.
the coaching staff.
Of
Oh, that's
course.
fantastic. No, that's great to hear. Um, Isaiah, I guess, what are you trying to focus on? Are you this off season? Are you playing 7-on-7, having a great time doing that, or
Yeah,
maybe you're
I've been doing
doing
7-on-7 with Team Tampa. We just won
okay?
a national championship Sunday. But this offseason, I just been working on my speed and my agility because I feel that's a big key for receiver, so I can drop my hips and have quick feet. That's what I've been working on.
No, that's fantastic. That's outstanding to hear. You're having a good time playing 7-on-7, working on your craft as well. So
Yes, sir.
that's definitely great to hear.
Your teammates with a wide receiver that we've actually had on the show before, Bryson Rogers. What's your relationship like with Bryson, and how has he helped you out as a wide receiver?
Oh, that's my brother right there. I look up to him. That's my role model. But he taught me some stuff. I'm just learning off him, and he's just been guiding me down the right path. Been putting and working with him. Yeah, he's been pushing me hard.
All right, Isaiah, we got game film study right now against cornerbacks, okay?
All
This is a
right.
game week study here. What are the first things you're trying to identify in the cornerback you're going to be facing against?
Like what leverage?
All right, I think Isaiah cut off. We'll get him back on stage. Let's put him backstage, and we'll get him back on if signs in and signs out. But in the meantime, Ross, as we get Isaiah going, I want to talk about the transfer portal real quick and what's going on there. I know Caleb Williams, he just committed to the University of Miami, Power 5. I guess, how are we going to utilize, you think, Caleb Williams? As a linebacker out on the edge?
My guess is we're going to at least consider him on the edge just for the fact that we could use some help with the rush. So,
Yeah.
I mean, at minimum, we at least give him a shot out there. If it turns out not to be the greatest, then maybe we slide him back.
Yeah, I think so. I'm curious. We're emphasizing a lot from the portal on the edge. Do you think are we going to focus more at linebacker play with a guy like Gentry?
Possibly. Yeah,
Yeah,
possibly.
and Gentry's coming from Arizona State as well.
Yeah.
He's a big time player, and so is Caleb Williams. I like how we're utilizing the portal a lot. We're kind of using it as much as Manny Diaz did during his time here. We're just not really being more vocal on social media.
The way we're doing it is I see us adding not just like pieces that are, flashy and like look at us for Miami stuff. We're adding depth guys in the right positions that we've needed for a while. So if we can get the proper depth from these guys, dude, it changes a lot. It changes a whole lot, especially on the defensive line.
Ross, we do have Bryce Thornton backstage. Isaiah, his connection did break down. Okay, so Isaiah signed out. Do you want to start the interview with Bryce Thornton?
Yeah, we can run with Bryce. Yeah.
All right. Well, Ross, why don't you do the intro? Bryce, very talented player, actually just dropped his top 5 with Miami in it, class of 2023.
Yes. Just dropped his top 5 with Miami in there. This is 2023 safety Bryce Thornton from Milton High School in Alpharetta, Georgia.
Bryce, welcome back to the Scoop. How you doing?
I'm doing good. What about you?
Hey, we're doing great. We were excited that you had Miami in one of your finalist schools.
Yeah.
Hey, walk us through that kind of trimming the fat decision on schools that you want to, trim the list to. Why did you have Miami as one of the finalists?
Really, Van Dyke. Really, just me and him talking. That's my guy. It's just he's been recruiting me since like my beginning of my sophomore year, and I just feel like I really want to come down there and see it. I wish I could have came down, but my plane got delayed like 4 hours. But yeah, I still wanted them in my top 5.
No, I'm extremely happy you have Miami as one of your finalists and the relationship you built with Coach Marcus Van Dyke. Ross, kick it back to you. Why is Bryce such a special player? And hopefully, he can pick Miami or the school of his choice. We know he's going to be a great college football player.
He's a safety that can play with power that also has speed. We were actually I was talking with him about a week or so ago, and he told me he wants to hit 192 pounds on playing weight.
Yeah.
If he hits 192 pounds with the way he plays, with his athleticism, good luck to the guys because he's about to take heads off straight up.
Bryce, anything you want to add to that? I thought that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, I like that.
So Bryce, you have your final list. Where do you go from here now?
Right now, I'm really kind of just focused on like my spring practice right now. But in June, I'll be taking my official visits. In August, that's when I'm planning on committing before my season starts.
What was this season like for you guys there at Milton?
It was a fun season. Going to state first time was fun. I wish I could have won, but it was a good season playing with like some of my favorite teammates. I'm playing since freshman year. It was a fun season for me.
So what's going to be the main focus for you this off season? Like, where do you want to work on to take your game to the next level?
Really, with me, it's technique. Just getting my technique really down. Just learning more about football. Just overall, just knowing the game.
Are you working with any specific trainers to help with that?
Oh, yes. His name is Justin Miller. He went to Clemson. He went to the league. So just helping me a lot.
Bryce, besides Coach Van Dyke, has there been anyone else on the Miami Hurricanes football staff you've developed a great relationship with as well?
Oh, Cristobal. Actually, when I dropped the top 5, he texted me a little bit, had a conversation with me. So, yeah, them two just really played a big part in it.
Have you been able to come on campus at all?
No, I haven't made it yet.
Is that on your plans coming up?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a specific date you're planning on, or is that still in the works?
It's going to be like an official visit. So I just actually texted Van Dyke like last week. So we trying to figure out which date works best.
Awesome. And I know you have your top 5. Are you transitioning to a top 2, a top 3 after you visit, more schools?
I'm probably just going to commit.
Okay. Awesome. Hey, we're looking forward to it. Wherever you pick. Wherever. We know you're going to do great.
Thank you.
Bryce, you're going to be moving into a senior leadership role. How do you plan on showing leadership? Is it going to be vocal or is it going to be with your actions?
Really both. I had to really step up last year too as a senior. Our coach came to me early. I moved in position. He told me I was going to have to step up. So this year, just really helping the young kids, like how the seniors, when I was a freshman, helped me.
All right, we're talking game week film study here. You're identifying the wide receiver you're going to be, lining up against 80% of the snaps. Pretty much going to be going on. What are the first things you're looking at to break him down to get advantages in your game?
First thing I really see is his tendencies. What he do off the line? Is he aggressive? Do he like when people get in his face? Just the little things that matter. And can I mess up his timing? It's just little things that matter going against a good wide out. So I just really look for what he do off the line. That's the biggest thing for me.
All right, Bryce, who are your favorite players at your position that you respect or looked up to?
Mick Fitzpatrick. I really respect him. Even when he was at Alabama, I really watched him a lot. He's trying to symbolize my game a little bit after him. Ed Reed with the ball skills. He didn't want to help me really want to score touchdowns watching him. When you
Hey,
get it,
maybe
try to go
when you
score.
come down and visit at the University of Miami, you can talk to Ed Reed or they can
Yeah,
schedule something. That'll be cool.
yeah.
That'll be dope. Um, I guess my last question, then I'll kick it over to Ross. Bryce, what are going to be some factors trimming the list down for your commitment? Because you're a class of 2023, you have plenty of time, but is it academics, relationship with the coaching staff, or maybe development, early playing time, for example?
Actually, it really is like all of it, education, because I already kind of know I want to major in like psychology, so that's kind of big on the development because that's a big part of my dream is to get to the NFL. So I want somebody that's gonna push me when I'm not doing a good job in practice. I want you to keep telling me, just keep working, and that's really big on me.
Bryce, we're going to be having one of your teammates on here lately, so I'm kind of curious to hear what his answer is and your answer is on this question. What were the biggest games you felt you had last season, the games that helped you improve as a player? Because, competition breeds greatness.
hmm Really, for me, was the state game. I feel like my leadership showed up because since we didn't win, it just kept telling my teammates keep playing. The game not over. So that game really just helped me a lot. Just knowing like you can't win them all, but you're gonna try your best to.
Tell us about your teammate, Rob Billings. Why do you guys work together so well as a duo? You guys are one of the top 5 duos in the nation as
Yeah,
far as safeties go. So what makes you guys work so well together?
what really helped us like this off season, me and him went to the field when the dead period, just kept working, just building that connection. Cause me and him real good friends, so just building that connection the off season, I feel like really helped a lot. And then just knowing like during the season, like, hey, I can pass the post off to you, and I can go do something else. It's just like having a connection with him mattered really a lot.
My last question for you is, and it's a question that sometimes I might ask twice, and it's just because these answers change as time goes on.
hmm
Why do you love the game of football, Bryce?
Really, I just love football from a young age. Watching my dad and my brother play, so it's just really watching them, just loving the game that really just inspired me so much.
All right, Bryce. And one more time for the viewers watching, if you can list off your top 5 before you head off.
Okay, have Miami, Alabama, Florida, LSU, and Georgia.
Wow, that is a very impressive list of schools, Bryce. I think you're in a great situation wherever you pick moving forward. So we wish you the best of luck, Bryce, and we know you're going to do great things on and off the football field.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Bryce Thornton, definitely a name to look out for. Thank you, Bryce, for coming back on. We greatly appreciate it.
No problem.
All righty. Take care, Bryce. All right, that was Bryce Thornton, class of 2023 safety. You heard his top 5 that he picked. Final schools. He said it live on the scoop. After this, he's going to make his commitment. He's going to be visiting Miami. He's got Alabama, Florida, LSU, Georgia, and Miami. I'm telling you, that's a name to look out for.
Let's hope we really, really impress him on that visit because, no doubt in my mind, this is a safety I would love to add to our safety unit. He plays the style of football that we want to play. He wants to knock heads off. He wants to build his body up, but not lose that athleticism. And the fact that he's already talking about that means that he's surrounding himself with smart people, and that's a good thing for a young player.
And all the viewers watching, if you guys can hit subscribe, hit the like button if you haven't yet. We greatly appreciate it. Just had Bryce Thornton on, released his top 5. Could be a Miami Hurricane. We'll see. He's got a great group of schools looking at him as well. So it'll be very interesting how his recruitment goes, but I always take a top-notch safety anytime. And we got our next guest, Fletcher, backstage. Ross, why don't you introduce him to all the viewers watching?
We got 2024 three-star offensive tackle Fletcher Westfall from Leesburg, Virginia.
Fletcher, welcome to the Scoop.
Thank you. Yeah, hello.
Hey, man, we're on live right now, Fletcher. It's a pleasure to have you on. Ross, why is Fletcher such an outstanding football player?
He's got the frame that colleges want to work with going forward, and he's got the athleticism at being able to build that up. And that's an important thing, where if you can add weight, add muscle, but still keep the athleticism and the light feet, that's what I think they see in Fletcher a lot. And Fletcher doesn't mind playing a little dirty. I mean, I'm not saying dirty like fouls, but like he's going to get in there and he's going to put in work. I've seen it. I've seen that before for sure.
How'd you like that, Fletcher? Pretty on point?
No complaints.
So, Fletcher, for all the viewers watching right now, what offers do you hold?
Currently, I have 14 offers. I actually have a list.
We can skip the smaller ones.
I wrote down all of them. Georgia, Maryland, Wisconsin, Rutgers, Northwestern, Penn State, Illinois, Miami, UVA, Pitt, North Carolina, Virginia Tech, and ODU.
Wow. Very nice list of schools, Fletcher. How's your relationship been with Miami?
Pretty well. We stopped by, so we were on spring break, and we stopped by Miami because we're on spring break, and I would say that was actually the highlight of our vacation. Really, I mean, it was I had a great time there.
Well, we love hearing that, Fletcher. There's no doubt about it. What's your current height and weight right now?
I weighed in today at 330, and my height is still at 6'8".
Are you working with any trainers this off season?
No, just my O-line coach. He's really big on our overall development, and he spends like countless hours just watching film, going over stuff, and just helping us out.
We've been very fortunate to have had a very successful offensive lineman in college and the NFL, Eric Winston. He came on our show and spoke to us about kind of what it takes or to give advice, to young up and coming offensive linemen. He said that footwork was the biggest thing coming out of high school. He said there's no doubt about it. Colleges can get your body ready, but the footwork is what they want to see. What do you do specifically to help with your footwork?
To be honest, anything my O-line coach says. So my O-line coach is actually he gets a lot of his coaching points from Miami, from Coach Maribal. So they're in constant communication, just feeding off of each other. And when I was at Miami, I was actually texting my O-line coach, and he was like, and I didn't know this before I went, and I was like, oh wow. And when I was in the O-line room and we're going over some of their stuff, I'm like, this is nearly identical to what we do during practice, whether it be just hand placement or foot drills and things like that.
That's great because continuity, how that goes on the offensive line, gelling and building that throughout years and years, that's so important. So I'm glad that you're getting a taste of what Miami's offensive line is being ran like. That's fantastic. So did that offer, you'll see they offered you what, April 18th, yeah, Miami?
I believe it was the 18th. It was a Thursday, and it was 2 weeks ago, I believe. Yeah, so that seemed about right. It caught me off guard. It was an offer that me or my family were not expecting even in the slightest. We came into Miami, and they were telling us, you get to watch practice and sit in a team meeting at the beginning. We did all of that, and they're like, oh, do you want to go on a tour? And then the visit kept on evolving, and then we went on tour, and then right after the tour, then we did a photo shoot. We did the team O-line meeting with just the coach and another recruit who already had an offer from Miami. His name was Connor. And then we did the photo shoot. And then right after that, it was we're walking we're walking out, and then we're literally right at the car. And then he was like, Coach Westfall, he normally is the one who dishes out the offers, but this time I'm going to dish out the offers or the offer just because there was a bunch of 23s. So I got the Coach Mirabal offer.
For all the viewers watching, Fletcher, I mean, how's Coach Mirabal, when you speak with him and the relationship you have? What kind of guy is he?
He's so if anyone doesn't know, he's not a very large O-line coach, but he has a large personality, right? And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Very very funny guy, and he knows what he's talking about. I can see how that reflects with my own O-line training, because with my O-line coach getting coaching points from him, I see how my game kind of improves throughout the season, and then going into Miami and just kind of watching it all in depth. Our favorite, or my O-line coach's favorite, I guess drill or sled is the Crowler or Crowther, and he loves it. And first thing we see, there are pre-practice drills. Miami, they're running on it. They're running on the Crowler. They're not running on it, but they're doing drills on it. And it was one of the exact same drills that we do at our school. And so I'm looking at the correlations between my line coach and at Miami, and it would be a very, I guess, easy transition.
Well, that's fantastic to hear. You think highly of Coach Mirabal. That would be a pretty flexible transition for you coming from high school. You guys are running similar drills. What did you like on your visit from the University of Miami as a college as a whole, or just seeing the practices being ran? I mean, maybe it was Coach Mirabal specifically, or maybe it was something else on your visit.
I would say the biggest thing for me is Coach Chris Ball and Coach Mirabal working together as a team on the O line during practice. We're there just observing practice, and he's Coach Chris Ball. He's the head coach of the team, and he's there with the O line running half the drills, while Coach Mirabal is running the other half. It's a good dynamic to be in when your O-line coach also is the head coach, and your actual O-line coach that has the position O-line coach is best friends with the head coach. It's just a very welcoming dynamic for O-line.
Fletcher, what's your current height and weight?
6'8", 330.
Okay, I'd actually heard you're almost a little bit above 6'8". Is that true?
Yeah, just a little bit. It depends on where I'm getting measured at, but 6'8" and a quarter, 6'8.1. It's kind of just above 6'8". Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you feel some of the best traits are for an offensive tackle? Mentally and physically.
I'll start off physically. I just footwork. I mean, you guys brought that up. Good footwork. If you're not moving your feet, if you're not, staying in front of your dude, and then just blocking him, you really can't be successful. And then next physically is just hand placement. Miami and then our school, we run our hand placement a little different than other schools. It's he wants to get under for leverage, where most other schools they want to big offensive linemen and then just overpower, right? Miami's more leverage, and so that's another part of the mental side is just knowing everything. You'd have to have a high football IQ. I mean, it's every position needs to have a high football IQ, but especially when you're offensive line, big guys need to have a big IQ.
Well, speaking of that, you can demonstrate some of that for us right now. Let's say we're on game week film study, okay? Let's say we're getting ready to use your opponent. You're going against, let's say you're lining up and identifying an edge rusher, okay? what are some of the first things that you're going to try to identify from that edge rusher to break him down?
First thing is, this is how far out he is, and then the angle at which I need to kind of set out. So, depending on where he is located to the quarterback, because I'm gonna know where the quarterback is, good football IQ, and I'm almost drawing a straight line from that edge rusher and to the quarterback. And so I'm gonna set out to that line while staying just a little bit inside of it. And so he can't cut inside because you got a big body there, and I'll just size him up if he comes inside, and then he's staying outside, so I can use my long reach on him and just stretch him on the outside, or just straight make him not come this direction.
Fletcher, was Miami a school you grew up watching a lot?
So
Based out of Virginia?
no, so when we were a lot young, when I was a lot younger, so I'm an only child.
Okay.
My parents are not like super big into sports. We would watch NFL games, so it'd be mainly the Commanders and the Ravens, and sometimes the Bills would be on. Those are the main kind of three teams I would watch, and then I think that's it.
So, were you a big Brian McKinney fan?
To be honest, I have no clue who that is.
Wait, I could be wrong on that, but yeah, I mean, it was that's how a lot of great football players they played in the past, I guess. But who are some offensive linemen that you watched today?
Today or at
Yeah.
Miami?
Just O-line in the NFL that you look up to.
O-line, so definitely Trent Williams. I mean, the amount of film I've watched on him with my O-line coach, we went over one play for like 15, 30 minutes, and it was just watching what he did when he set out, and it was I don't know, he did something like ridiculous where he like punched and like pulled back, and then the DN was like falling forward, and then he like Hulk smashed him down, and he did all of this in like a fourth of a second, right? Like some insane time, and we're here watching it frame by frame, and we watched it like 80 times, just dissecting it over and over again.
I love it, man. You can tell Fletcher is very passionate about the game of football, Ross. The fans watching in the chat, they love Fletcher as well. Mark says he'll welcome you to the U anytime. Ross, anything else you want to ask Fletcher before we let him go?
Yeah, just from your own words, Fletcher, how do you describe your game?
Good, but needs to be improved. I mean, it's at least my sophomore season, I was definitely carried by my size, and just athleticism in general. In this off season, our spring ball actually starts tomorrow, so we get some extra work in, and but just hoping to build better football IQ, and then get a lot stronger, because our from freshman season to sophomore season, there was not really a off season really, because we had a winter football, and just there's like a 2-month off season, because our summers are also just really short here in Virginia. So just doing the basics and working on fundamentals.
Well, the last question I got for you, and it's the question I ask every single recruit that comes onto this show. Why do you love the game of football, Fletcher? Where do you get that passion to go out and compete at the highest level?
It just competition. I feel like football is the most competitive sport that I'm good at. You could say, basketball or something like that. I am horrible at basketball. I just, I'm a very competitive person by nature, and I feel that the offensive line, we have our fun, but offensive line versus defensive line, I don't think you can get more competitive than that. And that's just can't get enough of it.
Well, Fletcher, we definitely appreciated you coming on the scoop. We hope you can come back again, and we know your recruitment's gonna. If it's picking up now, it's really gonna pick up because we know you're gonna be a great football player.
Thank you.
We're excited to see you get back on campus at the University of Miami as well. All right, Fletcher. Well, thank you so much for your time, and we hope you have a great night.
All right. Thank you. Have a
You
good
got it, Fletcher. Take care. All right. That was Fletcher Westfall. Is that how you pronounce it, Ross?
Yeah, Westfall. Yeah.
Westfall. Class of 2024, big offensive lineman. Interesting how his offensive line coach actually talks with Coach Mirabal and emphasizes, the same tactics, same offensive line drills that Coach Mirabal is coaching.
You could see that it really caught his attention, and it really, really was something that was kind of a pleasant thing for him to catch that attention, to realize that he could be possibly working on the offensive line system that he could be going into college, so he could already have a leg up on guys early. There's nothing wrong with that.
I 100% agree. And Ross, we got our next guest backstage. We actually had his teammate just on before. Why don't you introduce him to all the viewers watching?
We have got 2024 wide receiver Debron Gatling from Milton High School in Alpharetta, Georgia.
Debron, welcome to the scoop.
What's going on?
Hey, we're doing great. Thank you for coming on. We greatly appreciate your time tonight.
Yes, sir, for sure.
Ross, what makes Debron such a great football player?
Man, he can do a little bit of everything, dude. I mean, at his he's 2024, but I mean, you look at some of the little nuances and stuff, and you think he's a 2023 player. He's already kind of getting down the position. He's already looking like he feels extremely comfortable at wide receiver. And when you start to feel comfortable at a position, you start to do things naturally better. And I've noticed that with him is he looks like a natural wide receiver, and he's got a very good IQ actually as well. He can break down, find zones, good timing on his jumps, and just extremely, athletic.
Debron, anything you want to add to that?
I mean, he really touched on everything, but I really think that I'm a real good route runner for my age. And, I feel like I have excellent ball skills. I feel like I can go up and get the ball against anybody, and I feel like that I'm one of the best receivers in the nation, regardless of class.
I love it, man. We love that mentality. Tell the viewers watching right now what offers you hold.
I hold offers from LSU, Miami, Oregon, Texas A&M, Georgia, Tennessee, Penn State, Florida State, schools like that. I got more, but I just really can't think off my head.
Wow. Well, that's definitely an impressive list of schools. How was that, moment you had when you got offered by Miami? Walk us through that.
I really appreciate the offer because that was one of the offers I've been waiting on. I always wanted to go down and see Miami, because, they had a lot of legends, to go there. So I always wanted to see how the experience was there. And, I was really excited because Coach Gaddis from Michigan, he had went over there and he's the one that offered me from Michigan. So, we had a good bond at Michigan. So we translated that over there to Miami.
What can you tell us about Coach Gaddis, speaking with him? What kind of coach is he?
He's a great coach. He knows the game of football really well. When I was talking to him, he was just explaining to me how I can get on my brakes faster, on some routes. And, I feel like he can produce. He can produce some of the best receivers. Like, he coached Calvin Ridley, all them guys when he was at Alabama. So I feel like he's one of the best receiver coaches in the nation.
What's your current height and weight right now?
Right now I'm like 6', 6'1", 180, 175, between there.
What's the priority this offseason for your workouts? Is there anything specific you really want to tackle? You really want to go at?
Yes, sir. Definitely gaining some more weight. I'm on a meal plan right now. I'm trying to get to like that 185, 190 range because when football season comes, some of that weight drops. So I'm trying to keep some of it, by just gaining a little bit more and just working on my routes with my trainers, Top Shelf TJ and Top Shelf Steph.
And you're a 2024 guy, but what kind of stats were you able to put up last season for your team?
I had over 700 yards, 36 catches, and I had 11 touchdowns.
I'm kind of curious, and I didn't get a chance to ask Bryce when we had him on here, but what's the rival school for Milton?
It's Roswell and Alpharetta. Them are two rivals right there.
Okay. How did things go the last time you guys played Roswell?
Uh, we beat them pretty bad. We was winning like 49-24 in the fourth quarter. We kind of let up a little bit. They tried to come back, but we still end up getting a win.
Debron, if you haven't been on campus yet, are you planning to come on campus at the University of Miami?
Oh,
In the-
I was there April 14th, I think.
okay.
Yes, yeah, that's when I was there.
How was that visit for you being on campus?
It was amazing. All the coaches showed love. All the coaches really knew my name. I chopped it up with every single coach probably on the coaching staff. And, just Coach Cristobal, he's a good guy. And, I feel like we really connect well. And I have a good relationship with all the coaches on the coaching staff.
Are you planning on visiting? I mean, your class of 2024, but the rest of the summer, rest of the way, are you planning on visiting other schools, and which schools are you going to visit?
Yes, sir. I'm thinking. Well, I'm gonna visit Oregon this summer, and Texas A&M, and I'm gonna go out to Tennessee, and I'm gonna probably visit Alabama in like the first week of June.
Wow. That's really a nice list of schools you got. You're going to be
Yes, sir.
visiting this summer.
Oh
That's
yeah,
awesome.
probably Ohio State too. I forgot about them.
Wow. No, that's fantastic. You got an offers from all these programs, and you have an opportunity to visit these schools. I think that's fantastic. So
Yes, sir.
Bryce dropped his top 5. Are you going to take that route, kind of slowly trim schools down, or you want to do it differently, you think?
Uh, I'm really gonna really decide if I drop a top after this spring. I'm gonna see like what schools really showing like coming to see me, and like if I get some more offers. So I'm really gonna. I'll probably drop a top. I don't know, just a top something probably. Uh, the first week of a high school game. That's when I'm probably gonna drop a top something.
Debron, describe your game. What kind of player are you?
I feel like I'm a outside or the inside. I feel like I'm a mismatch either way I go, and I can stretch the field with my speed, and I feel like I can just go up and get any ball against anybody.
What do you think some of the best traits are for wide receivers, mentally and physically?
Probably you definitely have to know how to run routes, and your releases have to be pretty legit to be an excellent receiver, and you definitely got to know how to catch the ball. And I feel like you got to have the mentality that nobody can stop you. If it's the man in front of you, just you. You got to win. You just got to have that mentality.
What's the biggest motivation for you on game day? What gets you pumped up the most? Is it a touchdown? Is it a long play? Like, what gets you motivated more than anything else?
What gets me motivated? What is pretty. I'm really doing it for all my dead relatives. So just think about them. How they see me like where they want me to be. That's what I just think about in the back of my head every game.
Debron, what's going to be some factors when looking at schools, whether it's academics, relationship with coaching staff, or maybe early playing time, for example?
It's definitely probably gonna be the relationship what I have with the coaches. Because if you really don't have a good relationship with the coaches, you're just trying to go there for a name. Then that's not really a good thing to do because if you really don't got a good relationship, it might be another guy who have a better relationship with them, and they come in and just play over you just because of relationship wise. And I do feel like the early player time will be a factor to me because I want to go out there and try to earn my spot my freshman year if I can, or earn some heavy playing time.
Well, that's all the questions I have for Debron. Ross, anything else before we let him go?
Yeah, Debron, you face off against a very elite duo of safeties with Rob Billings and with Bryce Thornton. How has that helped you mature as a wide receiver, battling against guys in the secondary who are that good?
It really helped me a lot, because because sometimes they get me, sometimes I get them. So I just learn off my mistakes. What I do, we chop it up and talk about like if it was good or not. We'd be like, oh yeah, that's a good ride. I feel like you should do this or that. We just all got that bond. We really don't get the big head over each other. Like we be competitive every day, but we brothers at the end of the day.
Last question I got, man, for you, and the last question I ask every recruit we bring on here. Why do you love the game of football?
I mean, I've been playing it since I was 5, so you know, I really just love the game of football because it's really the only sport that you can really like hit and stuff like that. So I really like doing that stuff, and just the competitiveness of football. I feel like it's different than any other sport.
Gotta love the responses by Debron. I mean, your recruitment's already impressive. We love your mentality, and we know you're going to be a phenomenal football player when it's your time in college football, Debron. So we're very excited to see where you end up.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, whenever you want, Debron, you can come back on the scoop and we'll chalk it up again. So
Yes,
thank you for coming on.
yes, sir, for sure. I'll
All
catch up.
right, take care. Debron Gatling, man, I'm telling you, we might have a 5-star wide receiver at our hands, Ross. Very, very impressive football player.
I mean, he's already getting attention from those kind of schools, dude. It's pretty amazing, honestly. To watch his film it's just awesome to watch his film, dude. He does a little bit of. I mean, he can beat you. He can beat you short. He can beat you intermediate. He can beat you long. And he seems to be like almost a complete receiver as a 2024 receiver, which isn't normal. And it was funny to me because I looked him up and he wasn't ranked yet, which I thought was kind of weird. So I started looking it up, looking for a little more info on him, and you start seeing his offers. Well, he's clearly coveted, and there's no doubt about it. So any that they got to catch up on the rankings, I think there, but he's clearly coveted by the nation.
He's visiting Alabama, Ohio State, Texas A&M, LSU. Just got off a visit from Miami. I think that list of schools looks like a 4 or 5-star.
Absolutely. I mean, when you line up his offers and you look at his play, there's no doubt in my mind that at minimum, absolute minimum, he's a 4-star and a solid to high 4-star at that.
All right. Entering the 50-minute mark. I know we might have had another guest on. Maybe Ross will, spread some more light if that'll happen. But do you think Colin will come on or no?
I'm just waiting. I just reached out to him right now.
Okay. We'll give it time. But talking about receivers right now, do you think we need to prioritize after we saw the spring game? Obviously, it's one game, it doesn't count. But from what we've seen so far, do you think maybe if there's a receiver in the portal, Ross, we should go after another one? Because I think we only have one scholarship left.
Yeah,
Could be wrong.
That's a tricky one when the numbers start getting down that low. But heck, man, we could use a Charleston Rambo type of guy. Right. I mean that Charleston Rambo type of guy doesn't exist currently, unfortunately. Right. But we've proven that we can take guys who've had success elsewhere, maybe kind of fallen off the map a little bit because of a quarterback change or whatever else, and we can get their careers going again at Miami. I can see us possibly looking for something like that again, where a guy had success maybe as a freshman, sophomore, but junior season things might have not gone his way due to a coaching change or whatever. That's the kind of guys that I think we'll be targeting, because that's the kind of guys that we know that we can build up. And they're hungry. That's for sure. They're hungry.
Seems like some people are saying we need help. Others are saying we do not need help. We got one scholarship left. I think we need help at linebackers primarily, to be honest.
I can't argue with that.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Wesley Besaint was in a car accident. I believe, take this with a grain of salt, he's getting stitches on his ankle.
Yeah, I'd heard he had some kind of a surgery.
Yeah. So it's unfortunate he was involved in a car crash. Definitely are praying for a full recovery. That's all the details we know. It's been reported, I believe. If you guys have anything new, feel free to share it in the chat. Definitely praying for a speedy recovery.
Only thing I saw was people speculating, especially right after it happened, some saying that it was big enough to keep him out for a couple games, some people stating that it was a season-ending injury. So frankly, right there, that means that nobody knows what the hell is going on.
Right. So hey, we'll definitely monitor the situation. Definitely happy that he's okay though. Everything's fine. He's healthy. He's walking because car crashes are no joke.
Oh, no.
Absolutely.
No, I mean, the damage that could happen would be, we could be talking about this in a totally
Right.
different light. So thankfully, it's just something minor. And we know that he can build himself up and get himself back out there. He's capable of that. We've seen it before.
And he's a very good football player.
Hell of a player.
So
Hell of a player.
definitely hope for a speedy recovery. Anything else you want to cover, Ross, that we have not touched upon? I know it's the off season. We got through spring football. We're in the recruiting stage. Maybe some recruits to keep your eye out for, the fans that, hey, maybe, that they're gaining traction with the staff. So just to, I know we have Bryce Thornton. I think that's someone you guys should circle in. Just dropped the top 5 with Miami. But anyone else?
Kavion Henderson is a guy that really we're not talking about a whole lot. He's a 4-star defensive end edge out of Lee's High School in Alabama. And dude, I mean, this is a legit talent, bro. And Miami offered him. This is a legit talent, and we're just not hearing much about him from fans yet, unfortunately. Rob Billings, the guy that we've been talking about, the other side of Bryce Young, or of Bryce Thornton. I mean, yeah, that guy at safety. Keep an eye on him. Trey Wilson, defensive lineman, he hits me up often. He is very, very intrigued in Miami, and I'll tell you what, his last name, I might just murder it completely, unfortunately, but Collins Achimpong. I'm probably murdering that last name, and I'm sorry, Collins. He told me specifically that Miami is a real top choice for him. It's not just a game. It's not just playing around. Miami is a genuine top favorite for him.
And he's coming out of Anaheim, California, correct?
Yeah. He was adamant to me multiple times that Miami is one of his top favorites, like a strong favorite.
He holds offers from what? USC, Oregon, Miami, Oklahoma?
Yeah. He's got some big offers. Yeah, definitely.
So definitely a name to look out for out of Anaheim, California.
His story's wild, man. I mean,
really?
A little over 6'7", hasn't played football since his freshman year.
Wow.
But yet he's getting all these offers because he proved how good of an athlete he was on the basketball court.
Yeah. It's going to be very interesting with these West Coast ties. I understand Jaden Wayne was at the spring game for Oregon, said he had a great time there. Mario has ties to the West Coast. Now, do those elite players follow him to Miami or do they stay in the West Coast? I don't know. We'll see.
I think Jaden Wayne, especially Jaden Wayne, is the type of guy that we could see leave the West Coast. Now, it might not be for Miami, unfortunately, but no matter what, we're in it. We're in it, guys. We are definitely in it for Jaden Wayne. His family refers to Cristobal as family. They refer to Salavea as family, and they don't do it lightly. They truly, truly admire these guys, and they got to know them living in the Northwest. That's where this all really started. It was just a local thing, kind of. It was easy for Jaden to get down for unofficials and just pop down there and just see what was going on. Now that he's taking the time over and over again to fly out, this was even during the Diaz era, dude. He was flying out. The fact he's doing it that much, Paul, dude, we got a strong spot there. We got a really strong chance on landing Jaden Wade, and he's kind of made that clear to me.
No, that'll definitely be a huge pickup for the Miami Hurricanes, 5-star defensive end. If you guys can hit subscribe and the like button, there was a lot of great content on this show. Fletcher, really had a great time. I think it pretty much mentioned it. Mario Cristobal has his hand in the offensive line as well. Bryce Thornton, class of 2023 safety, cuts down his list, top 5. Miami's in the hunt. He's going to be one special player as well. A lot of great guests with a lot of great nuggets coming on campus with offers. Ross, anything else you want to talk about before we wrap it up?
No, that's it. I think we covered everything in about cover this time of year.
Cool. Well, hey, greatly appreciate everyone stopping by. And always, all about the U. Go Canes.
Go Kings.